Have you ever wondered why the people around you seem to recoil, freeze, or act strangely when they come into your presence? It's not your words, not your actions, but something much deeper. There is a force within you, a spiritual power so intense that even the briefest glimpse of it can send shockwaves through anyone who is unprepared. Imagine this, a moment where they realize they are face to face with something they can't comprehend, something beyond their understanding. They feel an overwhelming fear, a terror so deep it shakes them to their core, almost like they've seen a glimpse of the divine itself. And it's in that moment they are forced to confront something greater than themselves, something they cannot escape, and in many cases, it almost breaks them. This is the kind of power that the Chosen One carries, an energy so potent, so uncontainable, that it disrupts the very fabric of reality around them. It doesn't announce itself loudly, it doesn't seek attention, yet it shakes everything in its path. And while the Chosen One may remain unaware of its magnitude, to others, it is a force they cannot ignore. For those who sense this power, their world is forever changed. You see, the Chosen One's spiritual growth is not like that of others. This power is not learned from books or bestowed by external forces. It is awakened from within, a divine gift, honed over time. While you may not notice it yourself, the energy that radiates from you grows stronger each day, shaping your journey, molding your path, and transforming you into something the world is not ready for. What you may perceive as ordinary moments, your quiet strength, your unwavering focus, your ability to remain calm, are exactly what others feel as something otherworldly. It's an energy so profound that those who experience it feel as though they are encountering a force beyond their comprehension. The intensity of this power can trigger fear, awe, or even disbelief in those who come into contact with it, especially if they are not prepared to face the magnitude of what it represents. As the Chosen One, you may not even be aware of the ripple effects your presence creates, but rest assured, those around you are deeply affected. And for those who come too close, they may find themselves forever changed, sometimes in ways they can't understand. Your power is subtle, yet undeniable. It may not be flashy or loud, but it is real, and it is felt deeply by those who encounter it. So let's take a deeper look into what happens when they catch a glimpse of the power within you. The Chosen One's spiritual strength is one of the most powerful yet overlooked forces in the universe. What many fail to understand is that this power is not always loud or obvious. It doesn't demand attention, nor does it scream for recognition. In fact, it's easy to dismiss or underestimate. The Chosen One often walks through life unaware of the immense power they carry. They might sense a quiet inner strength or a deep sense of purpose, but it often feels so natural, so intrinsic, that it blends into the background of their daily existence. It's as though the power is woven into the very fabric of who they are, so much a part of them that they forget it exists or fail to recognize it for what it truly is. This is the very nature of spiritual strength. It's subtle and often hidden in plain sight. There's no glowing aura, no thunderous voice from the heavens announcing its presence. And yet, this strength is transformative. When it begins to unfold, it has the power to change everything. The Chosen One may not notice it at first, but those around them feel it. And it's this energy, this unseen force, that has the ability to shift the course of events, to alter the dynamics in every room the Chosen One enters, and to touch the hearts of everyone they meet, often without them even realizing it. As the Chosen One moves through life, the energy they carry starts to vibrate at a frequency that most people are not accustomed to. It's almost as if the world around them begins to change in ways that others cannot explain. People feel a strange pressure when they come into the Chosen One's presence, a subtle, unshakable feeling that something is different, something is shifting. It may start as an uncomfortable sensation, a disquiet that they can't pinpoint. But as the Chosen One continues on their path, this energy begins to grow stronger, and the people around them start to notice it more keenly. What's fascinating is that this energy is not only felt, it's also profoundly unsettling.
To those who are not spiritually aware, it is almost as though the very air around them has been altered. Some may experience a sense of unease or confusion when near the Chosen One. Others may feel inexplicably drawn to them, sensing a deep power they can't fully comprehend. It's the kind of energy that can make people second-guess their own beliefs, shake their assumptions about the world, and leave them grappling with questions they never thought they'd have to face. And this is where the power of the Chosen One becomes dangerous. For those who are unprepared, it is a force that can shatter their sense of reality. The truth is, spiritual power is not just something you use when you want it. It's an inherent part of you. For the Chosen One, this power becomes a part of their essence. It shapes how they perceive the world, how they make decisions, and how they navigate their journey. But for others, it's a constant reminder that they are encountering something extraordinary, something that challenges everything they think they know.
When the Chosen One is unaware of their own power, they carry it like an invisible weight. They don't see the effects it has on others. But for those who feel it, there's no escaping it. It's like a tide that rises and falls, sweeping everything in its path, sometimes gently, sometimes with a force so strong that it leaves everything in its wake altered. The longer the Chosen One walks through life with this hidden power, the more others will feel the impact. The vibrations they emit are not just felt, they are absorbed, internalized, and in many cases, they are transformative. The people who come into contact with this energy may find themselves changing in ways they didn't expect. They may become more introspective, more aware of their own shortcomings, and even more open to the possibilities of the spiritual realm. Others, however, may react out of fear or resistance. The power of the Chosen One can cause discomfort and even fear, because it forces others to confront their own limitations and beliefs. When people are in the presence of such a powerful force, they cannot remain the same. Whether they are aware of it or not, the spiritual energy of the Chosen One shifts them. It challenges their complacency, forces them to reconsider their views on life, and opens them up to new realities. It's as though they are being pulled into a higher plane of understanding, whether they are ready or not. And this can be a terrifying experience for those who are not prepared to accept it. The energy of the Chosen One is not just an influence, it is a catalyst for transformation. It ignites change in everyone it touches, and sometimes that change can feel overwhelming. But the Chosen One doesn't have to be aware of this impact to cause it. The power they carry is not something they consciously wield. It's something that radiates from them naturally, like light from a glowing object. It's a force that others can feel, even if they can't see it. And this is what makes the Chosen One's spiritual strength so potent. It is not something that can be controlled or manipulated by others. It is a force of nature, beyond the comprehension of the average person. And while the Chosen One may not recognize the full extent of its power, it is undeniable to everyone around them. The shift that others feel when the Chosen One enters the room is not just psychological, it is energetic. It is as if the very frequency of reality itself changes in response to their presence. The Chosen One's spiritual power reverberates through the air, creating an invisible wave that everyone in the vicinity is forced to experience. And whether they recognize it or not, they are being transformed by the energy the Chosen One carries. In the end, the hidden power of the Chosen One is one of the greatest gifts they possess. It may not always be seen or understood by them, but its effects are real, and they are far-reaching. The energy they carry doesn't just shape their life, it shapes the lives of everyone around them, in ways both profound and often uncontrollable. There is a moment in life, a pivotal moment that can change everything, when someone nearby catches a glimpse of the Chosen One's spiritual energy. It happens so suddenly, so unexpectedly, that it almost feels like an electric shock, a revelation that strikes them out of nowhere. 1 second, everything is normal, and the next, they are facing something they can't fully comprehend. The air changes, the world shifts, and they are overwhelmed by a force far beyond their understanding. It's as if they've stepped into a different dimension for just a brief moment, and what they feel is undeniable. The energy that radiates from the Chosen One is not something that can be seen with the naked eye, yet it has the power to make itself known in the most profound ways. The spiritual strength that the Chosen One carries may be invisible to themselves, but to others, it is all-consuming. The person who feels it, even for just a moment, is caught off guard. Their body may freeze, their heart may race, and they may even feel lightheaded as the energy from the Chosen One strikes them like lightning. This is no ordinary sensation. It is a powerful wave of force that sweeps over them, hitting them with such intensity that they are momentarily paralyzed, unable to move or think clearly. It's as though time itself stands still, and they are left with only one thought: what just happened? This sudden encounter with the Chosen One's energy sends ripples through their entire being. It's not just a physical reaction, it is mental and emotional as well. The person may experience a sense of fear that is completely foreign to them, a fear that isn't rooted in anything tangible or immediately threatening. It's the kind of fear that comes when encountering something unknown, something so vast and so powerful that it challenges everything they know about the world. There's an anxiety that follows, a gnawing feeling that they can't shake. They may look around, trying to find something to explain what they just felt, but there's nothing. The world around them remains the same, yet they feel different, as though they've been touched by something divine, something they can't explain or escape. Physically, the shock of encountering this energy can be overwhelming. The body may react in ways that are hard to control. Sweat forms on their brow, their chest tightens, their breath becomes shallow. Their pulse quickens, as though their very heart is trying to keep up with the surge of energy they just experienced. It's like they've been plugged into a source of power much greater than themselves, and their body can't handle the intensity. They may feel dizzy or disoriented, as though the ground beneath them is no longer stable, as if they are teetering on the edge of something far greater than anything they have ever known. The physical sensations are only the beginning, and the true impact of the encounter lies much deeper, within their mind and their spirit. Mentally, the person is in a state of chaos. They may try to rationalize what just happened, searching for an explanation, but none comes. Their mind races, trying to make sense of the inexplicable experience. Was it real? Did they imagine it? Why did they feel that sudden rush of power? The answers are elusive, and this uncertainty only adds to their unease. They may begin to question everything they thought they knew about the world. They thought they understood reality, but now, in the wake of this experience, they wonder if they were ever truly in control of it. The power they felt is too great, too vast, to be explained by anything they have encountered before. It doesn't fit into their understanding of the world, and it leaves them with a sense of confusion and awe that they can't shake. Emotionally, the person is left raw, exposed. Fear is not the only emotion they feel. There's awe, too. A deep sense of reverence, even if they don't understand why. The energy that flows from the Chosen One is not only powerful, it is ancient, timeless. It stirs something deep within them, a longing, a desire to understand, a need to know more. It's as though they've been reminded of something they've always known, but never fully understood. It's a feeling that both pulls them in and pushes them away, a duality that leaves them conflicted. They may feel small in comparison, as if their own existence has been called into question by something far greater than themselves. But in that fear, there is also a strange kind of peace. It's the peace that comes from knowing you've witnessed something extraordinary, something that has altered the course of your life in an instant. The impact of this encounter is not fleeting. It lingers in their thoughts, their feelings, and their spirit. The person may try to move on with their life, to forget what they felt, but it's impossible. That energy, that surge of power, has embedded itself into their very being. It's like a seed planted deep within their soul, one that will grow and transform them in ways they cannot anticipate. They may not fully understand what they experienced, but they know that they've touched something sacred, something that has forever altered the way they see the world. And for the chosen one, this is just one of many moments in their journey, moments where their energy touches others, whether they realize it or not. The spiritual power they carry does not seek to be noticed, but it demands to be felt. It changes the world in quiet, profound ways, and those who come into contact with it are never the same. Some may run from it, some may be drawn to it, but all are changed by it. The moment they catch a glimpse of the chosen one's spiritual energy is a moment they will never forget, and it is a moment that will echo in their lives forever. The moment someone encounters the chosen one's spiritual energy, it becomes a defining moment in their life, one they will never forget. The physical symptoms of such an encounter are immediate and overwhelming, as if the very fabric of their reality has been shaken to its core. The dizziness that sweeps over them is more than just a passing sensation. It's a physical manifestation of the spiritual force they've just experienced. Their body, caught off guard by the intensity of the energy, reacts in the only way it knows how, by becoming disoriented. It's as if the energy has caused a disconnection between their mind and body, leaving them struggling to process what just happened. Their world suddenly feels unsteady, like the ground beneath them is shifting, and nothing is quite as solid as it once seemed. They might stagger, lose their balance, or even feel lightheaded, as though the very act of encountering this power has redefined the space around them. For some, the reaction is even more intense. The energy the chosen one radiates doesn't just cause a momentary disorientation, it can temporarily paralyze them. It's not that their body is physically incapacitated, but their mind becomes overwhelmed, rendering them unable to move, unable to think. The sheer force of what they've felt locks them in place, as if they've been struck by a spiritual lightning bolt. The paralysis is not a weakness, but a response to the unrelenting power they've just witnessed. It's the body's way of coping with something too immense to understand. It's as though time itself stands still, leaving the person trapped in a moment of raw exposure to something far beyond their control. But it's not just physical symptoms that follow the encounter. It's the fear that takes hold of them. The fear is not like any other fear they've experienced before. It's not a fear of an immediate threat or a danger they can see, but a fear that arises from the unknown. The fear of encountering something they cannot comprehend. The fear of facing a force that is so vast, so infinite, that it renders them powerless in its presence. This kind of fear doesn't come from the person being physically harmed. It comes from the realization that they are standing before something divine, something far greater than they could have ever imagined. This force is not something they can predict, not something they can control. It is something that exists beyond them, beyond the limits of their understanding. And that is what makes it so terrifying. What they don't fully realize in that moment is that this power is not something that simply exists in isolation. It is a force that radiates outwards, affecting everything around it, creating a ripple effect that changes the very nature of the reality they live in. The fear they feel doesn't just stay with them, it spreads. It creates a shift within their soul, challenging their deepest beliefs and forcing them to confront their own limitations. This fear begins to manifest itself in their thoughts, in their emotions, in their very perception of the world. They may start to question their own place in the universe, wondering how they could have been so unaware of the deeper forces at play in their lives. Their sense of safety and security is shaken, as they realize that they are not as in control of their world as they once thought. This awareness doesn't just fade away, it lingers. The fear of the unknown, of the immense power they've just witnessed, stays with them long after the encounter. It becomes a part of them, altering the way they see the world and the way they interact with others. They can't help but feel as if they've been marked by something beyond comprehension. The emotional chaos that follows this encounter is far-reaching. It doesn't just shake them in the moment, it lingers long after, affecting their relationships, their thoughts, and their choices. They may become increasingly restless, questioning everything they once took for granted. Their mind races with thoughts that they can't control as they try to understand what they've just experienced. They may feel disconnected from the people around them, as if they've just seen a glimpse of something others can't possibly understand. The isolation they feel deepens as they realize that no one else can relate to what they've just gone through. They may try to share their experience, but the words fall short. No one can understand the depth of what they've felt, and that only amplifies their sense of fear and uncertainty. The energy of the chosen one doesn't just impact the person who witnesses it, it changes them. It forces them to question everything they once knew. Their worldview begins to crumble as the encounter with this divine energy shatters the old paradigms they've built their lives on. They can no longer see the world in the same way. What was once familiar now feels foreign, and the answers they once held so dearly no longer seem to hold the same weight. The very foundation of their reality begins to tremble under the weight of this new truth. This encounter with the Chosen One's power has exposed them to something much greater than themselves, and that revelation is impossible to ignore. And that is where the true impact of the Chosen One's spiritual strength lies. It is not simply a power that exists for the sake of existing. It is a transformative force, a force that disrupts old systems, old ways of thinking, and old paradigms. When others encounter this energy, they are forced to confront the limitations of their own understanding. They cannot walk away unchanged. This energy doesn't just alter their perception of the Chosen One, it alters their perception of reality itself. The encounter with this power challenges everything they once believed to be true. The energy is not just an overwhelming force, it is a gateway to a new reality, one that will forever change the person who experiences it. The consequences of witnessing the Chosen One's power are not fleeting. They are profound, lasting, and transformative. Once someone has glimpsed the divine energy that the Chosen One carries, they can never go back to their previous way of thinking. The ripple effect of that encounter continues to reverberate throughout their life, reshaping their beliefs, their emotions, and their understanding of the world. And as the Chosen One continues their journey, their energy will continue to impact and transform everyone they come into contact with. The moment someone encounters the Chosen One's spiritual energy, they are forced to face something far beyond their understanding. What's so unsettling about the Chosen One's power is that it is not easily defined or explained. It exists in a realm of the unseen. Unlike a physical threat, which can be understood and prepared for, the energy radiating from the Chosen One is intangible, a force that cannot be measured or fully grasped. It's this very ambiguity, this lack of clarity, that stirs the deepest kind of fear. It's not fear of something visible or concrete. It's the fear that arises from confronting something that defies logic, something that challenges everything the person believes to be real. The fear that comes from the Chosen One's spiritual power is a fear of the unknown, of encountering a force that operates on a different level than anything they've ever experienced. For those who witness this power, the struggle to understand it is immediate and intense. It's as if they've stumbled into a reality they were never meant to see, and they can't quite process what they're facing. This kind of fear isn't like any other. It isn't tied to a specific threat or a tangible danger. It's the fear that comes when you're confronted with something so overwhelming, so incomprehensible, that your mind cannot fit it into the framework of your previous experiences. The Chosen One's energy is not something that can be explained away with logic or reason. It is beyond explanation. And that lack of comprehension is what fuels the fear. It's the kind of fear that makes people question their own senses, their own understanding of reality. They may feel as though they've just encountered something divine, or something far darker than they ever imagined, and this uncertainty creates a profound sense of dread. This fear often leads to reactions that are born not from any personal animosity, but from the overwhelming sense of danger they feel in the presence of the Chosen One's power. Unable to fully process the energy they've just witnessed, many people react with hostility. They may lash out in an attempt to protect themselves from what they can't understand, to create distance from the power they find so threatening. This hostility isn't personal, it's a defense mechanism, an attempt to maintain control over a reality that has suddenly become unhinged. They may try to deny the power they've felt, discrediting it or rejecting it entirely, because they simply cannot accept something that doesn't fit into their understanding of the world. On the other hand, some may react by withdrawing. The fear of the unknown can cause people to retreat inwardly, to distance themselves from the chosen one and the energy they radiate. This withdrawal is a natural response to fear. It's easier to turn away from something that makes you feel vulnerable than it is to face it. Those who experience this kind of fear may begin to avoid the chosen one, consciously or subconsciously distancing themselves from the very presence that has disrupted their sense of security. They may find themselves unable to face the chosen one, not because of any personal grudge, but because they cannot handle the energy that flows from them. It's a reaction driven by the overwhelming need to regain control, to restore a sense of order and normalcy in a world that has suddenly become chaotic and unpredictable. The impact of this fear, though immediate, doesn't end with the encounter. The fear of the unseen can have long-lasting consequences, particularly in relationships. Those who have felt the chosen one's energy may carry the memory of that moment for years. The fear, the confusion, and the uncertainty they experienced will affect how they interact with the chosen one going forward. Relationships may become strained, as the person who witnessed the power struggles to reconcile what they've felt with the reality of their everyday life. Trust may be broken, not because of any fault on the part of the chosen one, but because the energy they emitted caused a disruption that cannot be undone. People may become distant, or they may try to rationalize the experience, convincing themselves that it was just a fluke, an illusion, or a moment of weakness. But deep down, the encounter has changed them, and that change will forever affect how they relate to the chosen one. For the chosen one, navigating the world with this kind of power becomes a delicate balancing act. As the person who carries this spiritual strength, the chosen one must remain cautious in their interactions, aware that their presence can trigger reactions that are beyond their control. The fear others feel is not always something that can be avoided. It is a natural response to encountering something so immense, so powerful. And so, the chosen one must learn to navigate the world with care, understanding that their energy will affect others in ways they may never fully understand. They may find themselves in situations where people withdraw or react with hostility, and they must learn to accept that not everyone will be able to handle their power. This doesn't mean the chosen one should diminish their strength or hide it away. It means they must learn how to wield it wisely, how to use it for good, while being mindful of the impact it has on those around them. One of the hardest truths the chosen one must face is that some people will never fully understand or accept their power. No matter how much they try to explain, no matter how much they try to make others see, there will always be those who cannot accept the divine energy that flows through them. This realization is both freeing and isolating. The chosen one will have to come to terms with the fact that their journey is one they must often walk alone. The energy they carry is not meant to be fully understood by everyone. Some people may always fear it, others may resent it, and some may try to suppress it. But for the chosen one, this power is not something they can ignore or hide. It is an integral part of who they are, and their journey is about learning to embrace it, even when others cannot. This understanding shapes the chosen one's path forward. It forces them to let go of the expectation that everyone will accept them, that everyone will understand their purpose. Instead, they must focus on those who are ready to receive their message, who are open to the transformation they bring. The fear of the unseen, while powerful, also serves as a reminder that the chosen one's energy is not meant for everyone. It is meant to impact those who are prepared, those who are ready for a new reality. And this is the journey, to find those who are open to the power that flows through them, and to accept that not everyone will be ready for that transformation. The Chosen One's power is a force of nature, and not all will be able to bear its weight. As we conclude, let us reflect on the immense power that the Chosen One carries within. Even a fleeting glimpse of this energy is enough to shake those around them, to leave a lasting imprint that alters lives in ways both seen and unseen. What may seem like a subtle presence, a quiet strength, can have a profound effect on the world. This spiritual power is not just something that can be dismissed, it is a force that demands attention, whether people are prepared for it or not. And in those moments when others encounter this power, even for a split second, they are forever changed. The Chosen One, often unaware of the magnitude of their own energy, holds a transformative force within them, one that can shift the course of events and challenge the very foundation of others' beliefs. This power, however, is not something to be taken lightly. The Chosen One must recognize the strength they possess and understand the weight that comes with it. Spiritual power is not a mere gift, it is a responsibility. If left unchecked, this power can be dangerous, not just to others, but to the Chosen One themselves. The ability to influence, to shift realities, and to challenge old paradigms carries with it the potential for both immense good and unimaginable harm. The Chosen One must learn to control this energy, to wield it wisely, and to understand the impact it has on everyone it touches. It is a delicate balance between embracing one's purpose and guarding against the overwhelming force that comes with it. So I encourage you, the Chosen One, to step into your power with confidence and wisdom. Embrace the spiritual journey that is unfolding before you. Recognize the responsibility that comes with your strength, and trust that you are being guided on a path that is uniquely yours. Know that your energy is meant to transform, to heal, and to awaken others, but it must be wielded with care and intentionality. The world needs your light, but it also needs your wisdom. Your journey is not just about discovering the power within, it is about learning how to live with that power and share it with the world in a way that brings healing, hope, and change. I invite you, the audience, to share your thoughts and experiences. How have you felt the impact of spiritual strength in your own life? What shifts have you experienced when encountering a power greater than your own? Reflect on how your energy, your own spiritual strength, affects those around you. How do you show up in the world, and how does that influence the people you meet? The journey of the Chosen One is not a solitary one. It is one that unfolds through connection, through the energy you radiate, and through the way you interact with the world around you. Share your reflections, for your story is a part of the larger story of transformation and awakening.